Alright guys, so I think I got this thing figured out. So if I was to do this again, I would start with a fresh frame and do a plate from here to here. That way you get the engine up higher, this is sitting higher, and the fact that you'll have a lot more clearance with pedals to everything. Now I did manage to get it on the plate that's on here and got enough room between the pedal and the bottom bolt of the transmission. What I ended up using was the steel plate that originally was on the pocket rocket for this motor. I cut it out, bolted it back to the motor, and then this is a 212 Predator. We'll grab a flashlight. That's a 212 Predator mount that comes in the box when you buy a Harbor Freight motor. And so what I'm gonna end up doing is just welding this plate to the 212 mount, and then once that's all welded up, I'll be able to bolt the 212 mount down, and then I can bolt the motor to the plate. And so that kind of solved the problem. I did have to notch this corner for the carburetor to be able to clear, so I am gonna have to make a new mounting spot for it, but it seems to work. I'm missing the 2 bolts here. I gotta go down to Tractor Supply and get some new bolts for that. But the chain's lined up. It seems to be working. Now, somebody commented about running a 60 tooth. Why not run a 44? Well, this transmission is geared so freaking low, it's not even funny. Like on her bike, she has that big transmission right there. That thing is geared extremely high. That's why on her bike I run a 32 sprocket on the rear, because if you were to put a 44 on this thing would just wants to pull the front wheel in the air. It's like instant speed, and it's only like 20 mile an hour, 25 mile an hour, and that's it. So with this one here, if you were to run a 44 on it, I think it's going to try to drag this motor down. Now, this being 2-stroke, these are high revving. You can get some RPMs out of them. So if I put the 60 on it, I'm thinking that's going to be the perfect spot to where it can take off really good. And then, like I said, these motors are RPM motors. You're not really restricted on RPM. It's just whatever it can do. So if we can get it, it's honestly going to have more. It's got more power being a 2-stroke in the higher RPM range too. So if I can get it up there, that's where it needs to be. But we'll go ahead and get this weld tacked in. I'll get it pulled apart, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, so here's that motor mount I kind of made. So basically this is the plate that came off originally the motor bolted to on the pocket rocket. This, and then this right here is a 212 motor mount that comes in the boxes. So I just welded it right to the plate, and now we can go ahead and bolt this up to the motor, and then get this, make sure the chain is straight, and see if I need to drill any holes for making this bolt to the bike. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Alright, so I got it all bolted up, and I was kind of worried because this corner I had to cut out for the carburetor, and didn't really have anywhere to bolt anything. I could make a bowl hole, but for right now we'll just leave it and see how it is. The other worst thing comes, there's a motor mount right here. I could just make a piece that goes from here to up here that'll come around the exhaust or go underneath and attach here. But this thing feels solid to the bike. So you got one there, and then on this side you got another one there, and then another one there, and you can pull start it and the motor's not really, it's not moving. So I think it's actually pretty good. And then the exhaust, I just had to bend it. I'm going to bend it a little bit more, and but it's going to clear, I think, the brake cable just fine. I just got to pull it out just a little bit farther. But yeah, it's coming together. So, and like I said, I'm just really trying to throw it together, not putting a whole crap load of time into it, because I don't know if this is even going to work. And I don't want to put, now if this works really well, I'm probably going to find another bike and then maybe get one of these with a big bore kit and everything, and go from there and start fresh and build it up. But this is just more, will this work? So we'll go ahead and all we got to do is throttle cable, fuel line, Got to make a chain for it, and really, and bend the exhaust out, and it's ready to go. I do got to make a gasket for the exhaust, but that's not a big deal. So I'll go ahead and get that stuff done, and then we can get this thing outside and fire it up and see if it works. I do have to find 2 bolts for this real quick, but yeah. So here we go. All right, guys. So I got the fuel line hooked up, throttle hooked up. I haven't done the chain or anything like that yet. I just wanted to get this thing running on the bike and everything. So check this out. I have the kill switch here. Yeah, my throttle's a little jinky for it at the moment until I get another one. But if you turn this on for the kill switch. Oh wait. There you go. Accidentally flipped the switch the other way. This thing sounds pretty heavy. So it works. So all we got to do now is get the chain on and set the rear wheel up, and I'll see if I can find a little air breather. Looks like it's just an NT carb style, so I might have an extra one laying around I can just use for now. But we'll go ahead and give this thing a shot. I kind of thinking this thing might have the power to actually move pretty good, but we'll find out here soon. Alright guys, got it pretty much together now. Chain's on, everything's done. The only thing I haven't done yet is make a mount for the exhaust, which I'm not too worried about. Like I said, this is more just testing this out, see what it does. And then the kill switch, I just got it ground and then to the coil. So we'll go ahead and get this thing started up, and we'll take it for a ride and see what it does. Just getting it over here, and I think I'm gonna have to gear this thing even higher than what it is right now, but we'll see here in a minute. Alright guys, in the video you guys can see this thing rides. Now, the clutch is slipping really, really bad. I have a spare clutch. I have to find it somewhere in a box. But it's slipping really bad. It started off decent, and then it just got worse, plus the transmission was starting to get really hot. So normally if they're getting really hot, and you can see in the video, it started slowing down. So I have another clutch. Like I said, this motor came off a pit bike that was destined for the junkyard, and I just grabbed it and ended up having the motor ran. So I'm thinking the problem was the clutch was bad, and they just decided to throw it away instead of putting a new clutch on it. So I'm going to swap that out, and I think I'm going to have to figure out, this transmission still, like I said, it's a very low gear transmission, and that's a 60 tooth on the rear. So we'll see what it does with the new clutch, but I think I'm going to have to find a different sprocket for the transmission, or find a different transmission altogether that's got a little bit higher gearing to it, or bigger rear sprocket, which I don't know if I can get one bigger than a 60 tooth. So I'll have to do some looking, but I will, the next video I will have the clutch swapped out, and then we'll try it again and see what it does with the newer clutch. But like I said, I think the gearing, I weigh 260, like 265, so for it to pull me at that, and I think I saw 30 miles an hour, which I should on this video be able to show stats in the corner. So don't quote me on the 30. I have to wait to see that because I didn't have the speedometer on it. It just felt like it. But it does work, and it's so smooth. There's no vibrations in the bars. There's no nothing. It's almost like the motor's not even there compared to like the normal motorized bike engines and stuff. There's just no vibration. So, and we can do a big bore kit on this thing. There's plenty of things we could do to this thing to make it really actually move out pretty good. So I'll do some digging on some gearing and get this swapped out, and we'll go from there. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment what you guys think about it. Thanks for watching.